What's up, my X-Crafting friends? Hey, it has been forever. There's something on the front of the camera there. It has been forever since I have uploaded a video. Yeah, I am way behind. But I'm out here in my shop. It is a warm day here in the Georgia outdoors X-Crafting. Um, yeah, homemade workshop. But we're working on something. Let me flip the camera around and show you what we're doing here. Yeah, not woodworking, but definitely a little bit of, well, you'll see. Here we go. Yep, that's right. We are doing some lawnmower repair. This is a off of a John Deere D130. This is the deck for that particular mower, and we're going to be replacing all of the pulleys, the brakes, the pulley brakes, the blades, the belt, the whole works on this. And yeah, let's just say it's been a little bit of a task to get these off. I've already broken these pulleys loose. I've already had these off. But these bad boys right here, they were a task to get started. I ended up having to lubricate them with some WD-40, letting it sit for a few minutes to penetrate, and then putting an impact driver on it to get them broke loose. But yeah, let's get these set up here. I'm going to get the camera set up on the tripod, and we're going to get these off and continue into the next step. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so first things first, let's get these smaller pulleys back off of here. And I'm going to place these nuts back on just to kind of hold my place. Not sure if the new set will actually come with nuts or not. So we're going to put these on just to make sure we don't lose them. And going to set these aside. Now, these pulleys aren't horrible. I'm not going to toss them because you can sell. You really can't hear that on video, but it is very smooth. So I'm not going to replace that one. Well, I am going to replace it, but I'm not going to toss it. This one, it sounds okay as well. But we already have this off, and we're going to do a complete, absolute overhaul of this deck. I'm going to see if I can clean it up a little bit before I put everything back on. And yeah. We're going to go from there. So let's go ahead. These right here are a little tight. So let's go ahead and break that one back loose. Break this one back loose. Pull that brake out of the way here. There we go. All right, that one wants to be a little bit tight. Move some stuff out of the way here. Get over here where I can work with it. There we go. And we're going to set both of these pulleys aside. These are a little worn. I'm not sure you can see, but this should be kind of a hexagon type shape there. And it's a little worn, not horrible. I mean, it's still usable. Both of them are about the same. This one may be a little bit more worn, but I'm not sure it's showing well on camera there. But it will not matter because we're going to replace these anyway. That's right, we're going to go ahead and do a complete overhaul. And that includes replacing the pulleys. These brake pads here, I'm not sure if you can see them. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. Let's see if we can get this zoomed in just a little bit. You can see those brake pads there are really worn in where the pulleys have been rubbing up against them. So we're going to go ahead and replace this one and that one over there. They're both about the same. And of course, we're going to get all of this debris and everything cleaned off. We're going to give this a good cleaning. I'm not sure if I'm going to hit it with a hose or not. I'll probably just take and more or less wipe it down and just give it a basic cleaning. Maybe one day in the future we'll do another big cleaning, maybe even paint it. Who knows? But yeah, let's change the camera angle here a little bit and get into removing these right here. All right, so we have changed out our socket on this. Going with a 10 millimeter. We'll go ahead and remove. And it looks like we've got some more that's gonna need a little bit of penetrating oil. So it's going to give this a little bit of a spray here, let it sit for just a minute. Go ahead and hit these over here as well. Tell you what, this one right here is really caked up with some dirt and debris around that spindle. So we would definitely give this a nice cleaning. Now this spindle here actually sounds pretty good. There's not a lot of play in it. But if we're going to do this, now this one over here did have a little bit of play in it. And it also has a lot of wobble as well. The bolts on this one over here, let me turn that camera a little bit. And watch this right here. I think this is where my rattle and my wobble has come from. Look at the play in that. So these right here are very they did not want to come out. I'm just curious. I want to check something right quick. There we go. That's a lot tighter. So these were loose to begin with. Now, the problem that I was having with this mower was when I had the blades engaged, it had a horrible rattle sound, which I knew was going to be a little bit more than just a spindle, because the spindle didn't have that bad of a sound to it. And I probably won't toss these spindles because in a pinch, they would work. And I think we just found the problem of what the rattle was. That spindle was very, very loose. Which tells me that that's where I was getting the rattle, because as this was spinning, as the blade was spinning, that spindle was able to have a lot of movement to it, and in turn, that's going to give me a lot of shaking, a lot of rattling, and just a great deal of noise. Now, I will tell you this: both of these blades on this deck are bad. Both of them, the tips are broken off, which is going to throw those blades off balance. And that is probably what caused the spindle to loosen up to begin with. But we're going to go ahead and replace it all and get it going. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead, since we're starting on this one over here, and get all of these bolts out of this one. Now, that spindle is ready to drop out. I'm going to place these bolts over here just in case the new spindle does not come with it. Now, it should be that, yeah, that one just simply lift off of that. And what I'll do is I will just slide these spindles out. I'll go ahead and assemble the blades onto the new spindles, set them underneath, and drop everything back down. Bolt it back in, grease everything up, put the deck back on, and we're ready to roll. So yeah, let's get over to the other side and get moving with it. All right, so this one's had a moment to sit here, give that penetrating oil. Boy, those just do not want to break loose. There's one. Well, okay. New plan. New plan. Impact driver isn't working on that. Those 1, 2, 3 bolts there are they are in there. I don't know if at some point someone over tightened them, if they were over tightened at the factory. This is all factory parts, I'm pretty sure, because the gentleman that I got it from, I know that I think the only thing that he has done is basic tune-ups and maybe change the blades. Other than that, the spindles, the pulleys, all of that are factory parts. So yeah, I think they over tightened this at the factory. So we're going to look at a plan B on this. I'll be back. Let me go check something. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Well, you know, I wasn't gone but what, a second for you? But yeah, I'm back. What I did is we're going to put a breaker bar on it. I actually didn't have one, so shout out to my neighbor. I went over, borrowed one of his, and yeah, so let's put some elbow grease into this. Yeah. All right, here we go. Put a little bit of elbow grease into it. Now, I've already cheated and I already broke that one loose. All right, now we should be able to remove these the rest of the way. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. There we go. When the power tools fail, muscle power comes in play. Oh yeah. We'll move the camera back here and we'll get all this off of the top of the deck. We're going to raise the deck up, go ahead and get the spindles out, and get ready to put the new ones in. So here we go. First things first, I'm going to set these nuts aside. These are the nuts that was on there. I'm going to set them aside just in case the new set did not come with any. They should have, but you never know, because sometimes things can be a little surprising. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just lift up this right here. You know what? There's spindle number 1. And there is spindle number 2. Let me show you these blades here. Ooh, look at that mess on the spindle. Take a look at these blades. This one here, especially, you can see this blade here. You see how badly worn these blades are, how chipped up they are. The tip of that one right there, the tip is all chipped and broke. So definitely out of balance. But you can see there's no, I mean, the spindle sounds good. So actually, I'm going to clean these spindles up, but I'm not going to get rid of them. Now this is the one that was over there. Let's see how. Not sure you can hear that. There is a little bit of, there's definitely a little bit of play in that one. But in a pinch, dirty hands. In a pinch, those spindles are usable. I will get the blades off of there, off of those spindles, get them cleaned up, get them greased up, and put those aside, put them in my shop just for emergency backup. You never know, what could go wrong at any time. But we'll get these cleaned up and everything. So let me get the new spindles out, get those ready to put in. We're going to go ahead and put the blades on them while they're off. That might make it a little bit easier to getting them back on. Going to get the deck cleaned up a little bit, get it wiped down a little bit before we put all that on. Probably go ahead and replace the brakes while I have everything off. And yeah, let's get busy. Okay, the underneath of this is yeah, horribly dirty. So what we're going to do is I'm going to find something. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this back down so that it doesn't fall. So let me lay this back down here. And I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, we're going to try this out, see if this works. So let's get this raised back up here. Get it stood back up. Basically, just going to get up under here. We're going to use this right here just to kind of scrape off all of this wet grass. I'm going to get it off of the chute here. I'm going to have to bring my blower out and get all of this grass out of the, hope I'm not off camera there. If I am, I apologize, guys. Oh, this is caked on here. Now, if you remember, I think I did a video back last year talking about this mower. I'm not sure if I did it here on YouTube or on my Facebook. I know I did one on my Facebook. I'm not sure if I did it here on YouTube or not. Talking about this mower. This mower was given to me by a friend, a fellow crafter, and he knew that I was in need of a lawnmower, of a good riding mower, and he just was blessed enough to get him a brand new rider. This one was really in great condition. I mean, considering that this mower has I think it's 353 hours on it, and the only thing that he had ever done was attempt to replace the blades, and actually it still had, I think, the factory blades on it just now that I took off because the set of blades that he had ordered were not the right size, so he didn't get to replace them. So other than just general maintenance, nothing major has been done to this mower. And I have to say, I've actually, even with the shape that the spindle was in, being loose, and with the fact that the blades were dull, look at this, look at this. I don't know, is that even showing on camera? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that. That is a lot of wet grass. I'm going to get as much of this off of here as possible. That is going to be the washout port right there. I know that's not showing on camera. The washout port is over here, It is all clogged up. But this right here is going to make a huge difference in the performance of this mower. And the longevity. So we're going to continue this. I know you don't want to sit here and watch a whole lot of cleaning. I'm going to get this cleaned up. Once I get everything cleaned up, we'll be back to install the new spindles. So here we go. All right, the underneath is cleaned about as best as I'm going to get it. Did some cleaning on the top edge here, kind of sprayed it down with some WD-40 and then wiped it down. And yeah, there's what we got out from underneath it. This is a 5-gallon bucket. And yeah, it's about that full of debris and grass, wet grass. All right, so let's get the spindles put together, get the new blades on them, get them in place, and we'll get going with this and hopefully get this deck in like new condition, or as close as we can get it without doing a new paint job and everything on it. But yeah, here we go. All right, guys, so we are going ahead and putting the blades on the new spindles, and we're going to grease these spindles up as well. Now, when you do this, make sure that you are putting the blade on in the correct orientation. What I did is I actually compared it to the original. So basically, you see these little ears right here? You want to make sure that those are going up, so that your blade part is facing down, like so, and the ears are facing upward position. Just always make sure when you're putting on your new blades that you orient into the correct position. Double check, look at the way your original blades are on, and remember that way. If you have to, take pictures of everything so that you can get going. But yeah, check out the difference right here. Oh yeah. All right, so let's get this, we're going to make sure I get it tightened down, and we're going to get it greased up. This does have a grease fitting here. We're going to get it greased up and get these installed. All right, we're going to change back over to our, and this is a 22 millimeter. I'm going to change back over. It should be the same size. Let's check this out and see. I'm going to rest this here. And no, it is not a 22. So let me go. I'm going to be going up one size on this. There we go. It's actually going to be 15/16 is what we're going to try on this. All right. Want to make sure that that is tight, but not super tight. Now this is just a little small 20-volt Black & Decker. Yeah, not super powerful. I would not, if you're going to put this on with a air impact or a heavy duty impact, I would definitely make sure that you don't go extra tight. These, by the way, did come with new bolts right here. The only thing it did not come with, unfortunately, are the pulleys, the main pulleys for the spindle. It did not come with that. I thought the kit had those in it, but it did not. But that's okay, because I said earlier, those are not completely unusable. There's a little bit of wear to them, but they are usable for now. Later on down the road, I will probably look at replacing them as well. But right now, they'll serve the purpose. The mystery deepens with this repair video. When I ordered this set, I could have sworn that I ordered a brake kit for the pulley brakes, but it's not in the box. I may not have ordered it. I actually looked at them. Those pads are badly worn, however, they will suffice for now. And if you don't know what pulley brakes do, they basically, when you disengage the blades, as soon as you disengage the blades, that pulley brake engages into the pulleys to stop the blades from spinning. Otherwise, you have to wait for them to spin down on their own. And it's a safety feature to keep you from, sticking your foot under the deck while the blades are still spinning, so on and so forth. So absolutely, it is a very good safety feature, and something that I will probably in the future look at replacing anyway. I am not sure. I'm going to have to go back and check the order. I actually ordered these parts well before Christmas, and I'm just now getting the opportunity to work on them. But yeah, let's get back into the repair. All right, so blade number 2. Now remember what I said. We're going to make sure that the blade part, the cutting edge, is facing that way, downward, where you have this wing here going up. So you want it to be like this going on. We're going to place this one on. Go ahead and start the nut by hand. Place it down on here. This actually, it's a little bit of work, but this is actually a lot easier putting the blades on like this. All right. Now we're going to swap out. And yeah, the nuts, or excuse me, the bolts rather, the original bolts, these here, were a much smaller socket. These are the new ones. They're going to be a 13 millimeter. The other one I believe was a 10 millimeter. All right, so I went ahead and placed the new spindle in place. I'm going to get these new bolts. Go ahead and get those started by hand. I like to start them by hand because that way you can actually feel how the threads are going, and less chance of you cross-threading something and causing a lot of damage that would result in having to rethread your brand new parts. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So we're going to get these started, and then we're going to go ahead and hit them with the impact driver. Now, like I said, this is a light duty impact driver. And just like with your tires, when you change your tires, you ever take a tire off, you always want to go in a crisscross pattern. That way you can get an even tightening and get everything ready. So we're going to go ahead and get the other spindle in place, and then we'll work on getting the pulleys back on. All right, now we're just going to lift up here, and this is pretty easy to do here. Just kind of lifting up on the deck and placing in the new spindle, lining up the holes. The biggest thing is getting those holes lined up. And then we're going to grab the bolts. Should be 4 of them. And once again, we're going to hand start these. Now, I know you might not have noticed that, but just then, when I was starting that, it wanted to go in not exactly straight. And had I been doing that straight with an impact driver, that would have ruined the threads on this. So again, you always want to start your bolts or nuts or anything that you're putting on like this by hand first, so that you can make sure everything is correctly threaded. Now, let's get these tightened down. Let me grab my impact driver one more time here. Crisscross pattern. Nice and snug. All right, let me show you one thing here. As you can see, there is a grease fitting on this, and I kind of wish I'd turned this a different way, but I can still get that. Actually, I kind of like that one there, because this way there's an opening in the cover right here, and it gives me better access to it. But I kind of wish I'd have turned that one like this one over here. This one over here is turned to the back side. So I kind of wish I'd have done that, but I'm not going to break it loose and turn it around again. I might. I'm not sure. Yeah. You know what? I think I will. So a little adjustment there. That was just a quick adjustment. And now we have the grease fitting that's easier access to the outside. Yes, there will be a cover over this, but that cover can be easily removed. And I also did the same thing with this one. I adjusted it and put the grease fitting to the outside so it's easier access. Let's take a look underneath this and see what the blades look like. All right, let's give it a lift. Raise it up here. And one thing you want to check for is you want to make sure that you have clearance with your blade along the wall here and of each other. And these blades are a perfect clearance. So that is ready to go. Let's get this lowered back down and get the pulleys in place. All right, so like I said, we're going to be using the original spindle pulleys here. Again, the kit I thought came with all that. When I ordered it, apparently it didn't, but that is fine. These are not horrible. They should suffice for the job. Let me get this brake pulled up out of the way. All right, there's the first one. All right. Now for pulley number 2. All right. And we're going to swap out. And get ready to change this out. All right, now these are the new pulleys, and no, they did not come with nuts, but that is okay. We'll place that one on. Actually, we need to get the belt. All right, I had to quickly pull up an image to make sure that I was running the belt correctly. So basically, you're going to run the belt, and this is the reason these pulleys have to be off when you go to put it on. Because the belt will run between this bracket here and the pulley. Same thing on this side. It's going to run between this bracket on the brake housing, or the brake bracket, and this pulley. And then basically this is going to run out. I want to make sure that it is on these main pulleys. And then this is going to run out to the main pulley to the drive pulley on the mower. Sorry, I was a little off on that. This is the original belt, and I was just looking that this one kind of looks a little, look like it might have been a little smaller, but then again, maybe it's not. You can see the old belt. Take a look here. The old belt, yeah, was about ready to snap. So that was a lot of the issues that was going on with this. It needed a new belt. It just really needed a basic overhaul. Nothing major. These two pulleys work. They're on there. They're not going anywhere. And they will last several more cuts before really needing to be replaced. So we're going to go in here and go ahead and tighten these nuts back down. All right. We are ready to reassemble and put the deck back on the mower. First things first, I want to get these covers back on. So these are the covers. They just sit down over like so. Same thing with this one here. Sits down like so. I may actually have these reversed. I think I do. No, we're fine. All right. All right, let me go grab the bolts for these, tighten everything down, and we're going to get this back out to the lawnmower, get everything put back together, and take it for a test cut. Oh yeah, here we go. For the final moves here, we're going to put the deck back in place. I'm not going to film this part because it's going to be hard to get the camera up under there. Don't want to risk knocking it over on everything, but I will show you a few things after we get it back up. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and there's lots of videos on that. Was a task, but it's on. Everything is back on, and it's going to kind of give you a brief look here at the underneath. Basically just the hangers, pulley lines up well, the belt lines up well. Everything is back on the hangers. It's time for a test cut. I'm going to put you on the tripod, and we're going to do a couple of runs down through the yard, see how it does. Oh yeah, perfect cut, runs quiet now. And no more shaking, rattling, or rolling, and loud rattling. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. You know what to do as always. Stay extreme and have some extreme ideas and crafting fun out there. Oh, yeah.